Gumbo Limbo, Bursera Cimaruba by Alexander Montiel.
Welcome to Alexander Montiel, the YouTube channel that brings you information from your favorite plants for your garden or for your home. I'm your host, Alexander Montiel, and today we're going to start talking about our series on South Florida native plants. And what better way to start off our series than with the Gumbo Limbo tree, Bursera Cimaruba, also known as the tourist tree. And we're going to talk about all about the facts and ways to grow this beautiful tree, especially here in South Florida. So come along and join me on this series to talk about the beautiful Gumbo Limbo tree and everything you need to know about it. So this is what we mean about the peeling tourist tree. The bark of the tree is beautiful reddish brown and is peeling just like a tourist would in the middle of July right after coming out of the beach.
The Gumbo Limbo, found primarily in coastal South Florida, the Caribbean, Central America, and northern South America. Due to this various location, has many names such as the West Indian birch, the tourist tree, turpentine tree, jobo jaca, palo chino, palo mulato, and copperwood, among many others. It is part of the class Rosids in the order Sapindalis, and we will now go over on its physiology. The primary distinction of the Gumbo Limbo is its reddish colored bark. The trees can grow anywhere from 20 to 60 feet, and the trunks are about 2 to 3 feet in diameter, and the leaves are in an oval shaped, about 4 inches long. It flowers in clusters in white or greenish colors, and it has both female and male appendages. The fruits are dark red, and the tree is wind tolerant. The propagation of the Gumbo Limbo can be grown from seed, but it is typically cut through, propagated by cuttings. The branches can be cut and planted, and grows well in zones 10 through 12, as you saw earlier in the previous maps. Its growth is quite rapidly, adapts well to alkaline soils and white sands. It is salt and drought tolerant, which is why it is grown here in South Florida. It can be neglected. It does not need a lot of various cares in order for it to be fully grown. It does require full sun or partial shade. Due to its height and growth, there is no shading. There is no other trees that can cover the shading. As you see, it grows well above the canopy. Trim is required at the lower branches because they do tend to grow closer to the ground. And ample space is needed for these particular trees, anywhere from about 15 to 20 feet as they do grow out large. So if you plan on having any plants around it, it is wise to make sure that they are partial to the shade or do not require a lot of sand. The beautiful thing about the Gumbo Limbo is that it is pest and disease resistant, and as hurricanes pass through South Florida and the leaves are knocked out of its trees, they do not require the leaves in order to photosynthesize, as they can photosynthesize directly from the bark. Now, the fruit of the actual Gumbo Limbo, it is beautiful. It occurs in the spring, and the tree is such a large tree that it attracts a lot of birds, not only for their huge branches in which the birds can rest, but as well as attracting butterflies and insects to their beautiful flowery aroma. And you're going to see a lot of pollinators being attracted to this particular tree. The fruits do appear in late spring and early summer. It takes a full year for those fruits to mature, which they're rich in lipids, and you will see a lot of birds coming in here. So not only will the birds come in and start resting on the tree, but they will also come in and grab some delicious fruits once the fruits are ripened and ready to eat. Fun facts about the Gumbo Limbo tree: the wood is lightweight, it is rot resistant, it used to be made for carousels. So before the invention of the plastic molds, the Gumbo Limbo was highly made for carousel horses, the merry-go-rounds. Haitians would use to make drums out of the trunk, and the Gumbo Limbo has this resin in which can be used for glue, varnishing, and water-repellent coatings. The largest tree is found here in Key West. in St. Mary's Star of the Sea Church, and there's another one on Captiva Island. Medicinal uses for the Gumbo Limbo. The bark was used for a topical remedy. It is great for skin infections, measles, sunburns, and insect bites. It can be taken as tea. Native Americans used to make tea out of the bark, which would help them a lot with the cold, flu, and fevers. It was also has a antibacterial, anti-inflammatory properties, as well as anti-venom. So, due to its many medicinal uses, the Native Americans would use this particular tree for various uses, particularly, especially here in the Central and South Florida, as well as in the Americas. The sunburn. It's the number one usage that we had. That Native Americans would just use it as a topical remedy, and they would apply it onto the skin to cure for the sunburn.
And we're here live at our test kitchen because we're actually going to try out the Gumbo Limbo tree tea recipe. Unfortunately, we were not able to get an actual bark the way that Native Americans used to do it. So what we did was we went to our good old-fashioned Amazon, where you can find anything under the sun. Here we have a product from Nature Jam. This is straight Gumbo Limbo tree chips, ready to be processed. Please make sure that that way you can actually see it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's about it's a good pound worth of product. Now, please, medical warnings, please consult your doctors if you're pregnant or have a pregnancy risk or anything of that nature. Please make sure you check with your doctors first before you try any type of tea from natural home remedies. Safety reasons. Now, according to Nature Jam, all you need is, for every 1 cup of water, 2 chips. So what we've done is we already started boiling some of our water here, and we have about 2 cups of water. So we're going to put in about 4 chips in, and we're going to wait for that water to turn golden brown, and we're going to give this a try. So I'll see you back in 10 minutes. Alright, so we just finished the tea. As you can see here closer, after 10 minutes the water has turned a nice brown color. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this into a cup, and we're going to give it a nice taste test to see what it tastes like without sugar, because we're going to try it out. Alright, so we're going to pour a little bit of there. Doesn't matter if the part goes in. Could have used the filter, but we're already here. Alright, so bottoms up. We only live once. I would add sugar. That's not better, but they say it's good for you. On our next episode, we're going to go over sea grapes on our series of South Florida native plants. Cheers.